Okay, I am live. Um, I actually just wanted to do this live stream to send my condolences to the family and friends of all of those involved in the accident with Kobe Bryant and his daughter. Um, there were 9 people, I guess, included in this accident. Uh, and I just wanted to send my condolences to the friends and families that are involved. Not involved, but affected by this. I guess this happened yesterday. NBA legend Kobe Bryant's life and legacy. Let me see what else has to say about it. Let's see. Okay, this is from Apple News. It says federal investigators look for answers in Kobe Bryant's helicopter crash. Lakers legend Kobe Bryant died when the helicopter he was traveling in crashed into a hillside in Calabasas shortly before 10 a.m. This is an article by Richard Winton, Dan Woike, Sonali Kohli, Tanya Ganguly, and Ben Poston. Sorry if I butchered your names. I'm really awful with pronouncing names. Kobe Bryant, age 41, the legendary basketball star who spent 20 years with the Lakers, was killed Sunday morning when the helicopter he was traveling in crashed amid foggy conditions and burst into flames in the hills above Calabasas. His daughter, Gianna, only 13, was also on board, NBA authorities confirmed. Los Angeles County Sheriff Alex Villanueva said 9 people were on the copter, a pilot and 8 passengers. He would not confirm who died until the next of kin have been notified. He said the LA County Coroner's Office said Sunday night that the recovery effort is expected to take several days because of the condition of the crash site and its remote location. Officials have shut down roads leading to the site because of a throng of visitors trying to get there. The helicopter, a Sikorsky S-76B built in 1991, departed John Wayne Airport at 9:06 a.m. Sunday, according to publicly available flight records, the chopper passed over Boyle Heights near Dodger Stadium and circled over Glendale during the flight. The crash occurred shortly before 10 a.m. near Las Virgenes Road and Willow Glen Street in Calabasas. Authorities received a 911 call at 9:47 a.m., and firefighters arrived to find that the crash had ignited a quarter-acre brush fire in steep terrain, said LA County Fire Chief Daryl Osby. Responders included 56 fire personnel, firefighters, a helicopter with paramedics, hand crews, and sheriff's deputies. Our firefighters hiked into the accident site with their medical equipment and hose lines to extinguish the stubborn fire, as it included the brush fire and the helicopter, Osby said during a news conference Sunday afternoon. The fire also included magnesium, which is very hard for fighters to extinguish because magnesium reacts with oxygen and water. The Federal Aviation Administration and National Transportation Safety Board are investigating the crash. The FBI is also assisting in the probe, which is standard practice. The NTSB database does not show any prior incidents or accidents for the aircraft. The helicopter was registered to the Fillmore-based Island Express Holding Corp., according to the California Secretary of State's business database. The helicopter's manufacturer, Sikorsky, said in a statement Sunday that it is cooperating with the investigation. The fog was severe enough Sunday morning that the Los Angeles Police Department's Air Support Division grounded its helicopters and didn't fly until later in the afternoon. Department spokesman Josh Rubenstein said, the weather situation did not meet our minimum standards for flying. Rubenstein said the fog was enough that we were not flying. LAPD's flight minimums were 2 miles of visibility and an 800-foot cloud ceiling, he said. The LA County Sheriff's Department made a similar assessment about the fog and had no helicopters in the air Sunday morning, basically because of the weather, Villanueva said. Kurt Dietz, a former pilot for Island Express helicopters who used to fly Bryant in the chopper, said weather conditions were poor in Van Nuys on Sunday morning, not good at all. The crash was more likely caused by bad weather than engine or mechanical issues, he said. The likelihood of a catastrophic twin-engine failure on the aircraft, it just doesn't happen, he said. Judging from a public record of the flight path and the wide debris field, Dietz said it appears the helicopter was traveling very fast at the time of impact, about 160 miles per hour. After a 40-minute flight, Dietz added the craft would have had about 800 pounds of fuel on board. That's enough to start a pretty big fire, he said. The Los Angeles County Coroner's Office is working on retrieving the bodies and has not officially identified any of the victims, but Orange Coast College confirmed that the baseball coach John Altobelli was among the others who died in the crash. As a mentor and coach for 27 years, he helped students earn scholarships to play at four-year colleges and treated players like family, the school said in a statement. Coach Altabelli was a giant on our campus, a beloved teacher, coach, colleague, and friend. This is a tremendous loss for our campus community, OCC President Angelica Suarez said in a statement. Altabelli's wife, Keri Altabelli, and their 13-year-old daughter, Alyssa, who played on the club team with Bryant's daughter, were also among the victims, according to his family. Bryant was scheduled to coach Sunday in a game at his Mamba Sports Academy in Thousand Oaks and was en route there when the helicopter crashed. The tournament, called the Mamba Cup, featured boys and girls travel teams of from 4th through 8th grade. Scores of flowers, a Lakers banner, and a photo of Bryant on the cover of Sports Illustrated were left at a growing memorial outside the locked front doors of the academy. Christina Mauser, Bryant's top assistant coach in the travel basketball team, was also killed in the crash. My kids and I are devastated, her husband Matt Mauser wrote on Facebook. We lost our beautiful wife and mom today in a helicopter crash. The Times is offering coverage of Kobe Bryant's death for free today. Please consider a subscription to support our journalism. This is from Apple News, off my iPhone. So I don't know. Jerry Kokarian, I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm so sorry, was standing outside the church in the canyon drinking coffee when he heard a helicopter that was flying unusually low and struggling. It didn't sound right, and it was real low. I saw it failing and sputtering, but it was hard to make out as it was so foggy. Kokarian said the helicopter vanished into a cloud of fog, and then there was a boom. There was a big fireball, he said. No one could survive that. Across the country, Sunday, public figures, former teammates, and fans alike mourned the basketball star, particularly when he was young, to be a part of his life and to watch his career grow, watch him grow. This is one of the most tragic days of my life, said fellow Lakers legend Jerry West, 81. West was the general manager for the Lakers in 1996 and maneuvered Bryant's immediate trade to the Lakers when he was drafted. I know somewhere along the way, I guess I'll come to grips with it, but now I have all these different emotions regarding him. The things I watched him do on the basketball court, but more importantly, he was making a difference off the court. It's so unexplainable. This is going to take a long time for me. Kobe was a legend on the court and just getting started in what would have been just as meaningful a second act, former President Obama tweeted. To lose Gianna is even more heartbreaking to us as parents. Michelle, send love and prayers to Vanessa and the entire Bryant family on an unthinkable day. That's a little emotional for me because I've lost some of my children, and it's very tragic. Even to hear about the loss of other parents. It was a sad and surreal scene both in and out of Staples Center on Sunday, where a dress rehearsal for the Grammy Awards was taking place around noon. As word of Bryant's death swept through the arena, and there was 2 13-year-olds on this aircraft, I guess. Grammy Awards was taking place from around noon. As word of Bryant's death swept through the arena, crews worked quickly to move Bryant's rafter jerseys side by side and mask the other retired jerseys with curtains. By 1 p.m., the switch had been made. Number 8 and number 24 were side by side, illuminated by floodlights. News of the crash dominated the rehearsal. Ariana Grande had just finished a lavish performance, and Billie Eilish was about to perform an acoustic song with her brother. But all eyes were on the jerseys at the end of the floor as staff and observers watched in disbelief. Fans gathered across the city to mourn outside Staples Center, and at LA Live, a sea of purple orchids and yellow chrysanthemums formed. Among the crowd packed along the Hollywood Walk of Fame, a pattern emerged, purple and yellow and white, 24 and 8 on people's chests. Bryant emblazoned across their backs. At the intersection of Hollywood and Highland in Hollywood, a dance crew asked people in the crowd to yell out where they were visiting from. Argentina, Korea, India. I love you, Black Mamba, one man shouted. The ones who couldn't get to LA landmarks mourned online. Some left basketballs outside their homes and posted photos on social media, offering Kobe and Gianna a ball in case they want to play a pickup game in heaven. And that's what's pictured here with the post. On Sunday evening, it is impossible to ignore the city's heartbreak. Television screens in the Los Angeles International Airport terminal bars were playing footage of the news as travelers paused to stare. Outside the airport's pillars were lit up in Lakers purple and gold in honor of Bryant. Downtown, the U.S. Bank Tower shone in the same colors, blocks from Staples Center. Within half an hour of the news breaking, a Barnes & Noble store in Orange had sold out of all the photo books featuring Bryant. It's kind of morose, but people just came in 10 or 15 minutes after we found out about it, said Armando Romero, a bookseller at the cash register. He said his general manager announced Bryant's death to the employees over their wireless headsets. We knew right away people would be coming. Minutes later, Romero said he received phone calls from customers asking to put Bryant-related books on hold. At the Fullerton Mexican restaurant, El Camino Real, the staff was really sad, said manager Rodolfo Garcia. Bryant patronized the restaurant for 20 years with his wife, a Fullerton native. I don't like how they wrote that. That I understand what they're saying there. He's a customer for 20 years, but for us, some of us that aren't as I just don't like the way that was written. Bryant patronized the restaurant for 20 years. Bryant was a customer of the restaurant for 20 years with his wife, a Fullerton native. If he couldn't come in person, Bryant would have friends get back orders to take back to his Newport Coast home. He liked the carnitas and flan. Garcia said after the thud of a butcher breaking down carne asada for tacos, he loved this place because people treated him like a normal person. Kobe would just stand in line like anyone else. He'd tell us, "Don't treat me like a star. I'm just a customer here." Bryant was born in Philadelphia. His father, Joe, played 8 seasons in the 1970s and 80s for the Philadelphia 76ers, San Diego Clippers, and in his last stop, the Houston Rockets under then-coach Del Harris. A lighthearted 6'10" string bean who went by his Philadelphia playground nickname Jelly Bean, Joe Bryant played college ball at LaSalle and married Pam Cox, the sister of a starting guard at Villanova. They named their first son Kobe after the city in Japan. Bryant excelled at Lower Merion High in Ardmore, Pennsylvania, near Philadelphia, winning numerous national awards as a senior before announcing his intention to skip college and enter the NBA draft. He was selected 13th overall by Charlotte in 1996, but the Lakers had already worked out a deal with the Hornets to acquire Bryant before his selection. Bryant impressed Lakers general manager Jerry West during a pre-draft workout session in Los Angeles. Less than 3 weeks later, the Lakers traded starting center. I don't know how to say this either. Vlad Divac. I'm like ignorant to some of these basketball players. To the Hornets in exchange for Bryant's rights. I don't. You guys can read it. Okay. I don't follow basketball, and I love football, but I don't really follow football either. So, anyways, Bryant, whose favorite team growing up was the Lakers, had to have his parents co-sign his NBA contract because he was 17 years old. The 6'6" guard made his pro debut in the 1996-97 season opener against Minnesota. At the time, he was the youngest player to appear in an NBA game. He started in only a handful of games during his rookie season, coming off the bench in support of Nick Van Exel and Eddie Jones. However, Harris played him more as the season progressed, allowing Bryant to showcase his skills, which were on display when he won the 1997 NBA Slam Dunk competition. Bryant continued to improve during his sophomore season in the league, averaging 15.4 points per game, but his breakout came in the lockout shortened 1998 to 99 season when he started in all 50 games after the Lakers traded away Van Exel and Jones. They have a picture here of the crash site. The crash site in Calabasas, where Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna were among the 9 people killed Sunday. I don't know if you can see it very well, but Bryant and leading scorer Shaquille O'Neal quickly morphed into one of the most lethal scoring and defensive combinations in the league, together with coach Phil Jackson guiding them. They led the Lakers to 3 consecutive championships in 2000 to 2002 as Bryant began to cement his place as the game's top player. "There's no words to express the pain I'm going through with this tragedy of losing my niece Gigi and my brother," O'Neal tweeted Sunday. "I love you and you will be missed. My condolences goes out to the Bryant family and the families of the other passengers on board. I'm sick right now." Despite coming together to win some of the most closely fought playoff series in Lakers history, friction started to develop between Bryant and O'Neal. Tension between the two stars continued to build during the 2002, 2003, and 2003-2004 seasons as the Lakers failed to capitalize on their status as top contenders for the NBA title. Making matters worse, Bryant was arrested in July 2003 on allegations of sexual assault. Why do we have to even highlight these things? The The charges were eventually dropped, but Brian's reputation took a hit, and he settled a civil lawsuit with the accuser. In exchange for not testifying in the criminal case, the accuser negotiated an apology letter from Bryant. We should be celebrating his life and his accomplishments. I'm pretty sure that he got enough publicity when this was happening about his own personal life. I'm kind of on the fence about things like that because the man that abused me for 14 years and my child for 14 years. But the reason I'm on the fence is because it doesn't matter how much publicity or attention I bring to it. There's still no justice being served. I don't know the facts on this case, and I don't want to veer off into another conversation, but I'm going to skip over this stuff because I don't think it's appropriate to be discussing things like this.